Good morning. I've got a strawberry pip from my jam on toast stuck in the back of my tooth and it's driving me demented. Thought I'd share that with you. I'm not at the age yet where I can take them out and pick it out. It won't be long. So you know I don't like a liar. Now, misinformation I think can be genuine, and I actually don't think is a bad thing, because misinformation can prompt you to find out the actual information, and then you've learned something. And misinformation can be very genuine, particularly with what's sort of given to us these days. It's sometimes hard to sift through what's really real and what's not. But then there's blatant lies, and it's the blatant lies I struggle with. And that probably just comes from having the little kids when they were small and they would say a blatant, I didn't eat the ice cream with the ice cream in the hand. Although I didn't hate that, that made me smile. But you know what I mean, you know what I'm getting at. So imagine when somebody sends me a campaign letter from Keir Starmer, and you know, we've all read it, but sometimes you forget about it. And in the current political climate, it's important to remind ourselves what a liar he is. So I've got the dogs ready to stroke if my blood pressure goes up. I hope you've got something as well. Oh, thank you for the subscriptions and the likes. We're on 20,000. I love you all. Well, most of you. There's a couple I'm not so keen on, but you know, can't pick and choose. I'll have to put this in the light because I can't really see it very well. But Keir Starmer says in Vote Labour Change Thursday, the 4th of July, I know how much Britain's older generation have contributed to our country and the debt that is owed to them. They've worked hard and paid their income taxes. Always done the right thing. I mean, I'm nervous when he says always done the right thing because he doesn't know what the right thing is. So that makes me a bit nervous, but there you go. I know how much of a struggle it's been in recent times. How do you know how much of a struggle it's been in recent times? You, Mr. Multimillionaire Barrister, how do you have any kind of clue what a struggle it's been in recent times? I cannot imagine Mr. Starmer, sir, sitting down going, oh, should we turn the electric blanket on now or in an hour because it's so expensive? I don't think you do know how much of a struggle it's been, and you don't listen to any of the constituents. So I think that is the first porky pie. Prices have gone up in the shops, energy bills have rocketed, and Tory tax rises mean a record number of pensioners are now paying income tax. I mean, where do we start with that? Waiting times in the NHS are now so long, many feel that they have no option but to pay thousands of pounds to go private for treatment if they are able. To add insult to injury, Rishi Sunak broke his promise on the pension triple lock, and the Conservatives' mini budget wiped billions from the value of pension funds. I mean, oh man. If he'd have got a crystal ball, would you think he'd edit this letter, sending it out now? Do you think he'd go, oh, it's so awkward? I'll never betray Britain's pensioners as Rishi Sunak has. There you go. He wrote it in black and white. Can you believe that? I'll never betray Britain's pensioners as Rishi Sunak has. With my fully costed and fully... Sorry. With my fully costed and fully funded plans, the state pension will increase year on year with the triple lock over the whole Parliament. I mean, to be fair, you did increase the state pension, but then you also took away the Winter Fuel Allowance and the cost of existence went through the roof. So, there was you could not have ever increased it enough to actually make ends meet. We'll cut energy bills for good by creating Great British Energy, a public-owned clean power company paid for by a windfall tax on oil and gas giants. When? I mean, are we going to be alive when this happens? Our warm home plans will improve energy efficiency to slash bills further. Now, I have a real issue with this. I live in a listed building. I don't know why it's listed. It really doesn't. I mean, it is no Belton House, trust me. It's a farmer's cottage, but somebody somewhere decided, God knows how many years ago, to list it. So we can't have any energy saving whatever you call it, in energy efficiency in our house. We're simply not allowed. So we can restore it to look absolutely beautiful like it did in, 170 dot, but we're not allowed to actually make it efficient for a family. Yet if we hadn't bought this house, it probably would have, it's still crumbling, but it would have crumbled into rack and ruin. So I think we need to do something there with people who are, custodians of old buildings. Stupid, you might say, and I would probably agree. But those of us who are custodians of old buildings, Some of them are very grand. Some of them, in our case, are basically where the pigs lived. But I think we need to work on that. I think we need to have a look at how we can make our houses efficient, because let me tell you, the only thing this house is efficient in is a draft. And on that, it's brilliant. Anyway, he goes on to talk about the NHS, which is a bit boring because that's all knackered anyway. I will always ensure Britain's retirees get the security and respect they deserve. I will always ensure Britain's retirees get the security and respect they deserve. There you go, look, and he's even signed it. That's what Keir Starmer said when he wanted the British public to vote for Labour. And some gullible people fell for it. And to be fair, he writes a good letter, so you can see why they might have done. Fast forward 10 months, and what would you say has happened? How much of that letter would you say is true? How much of that letter would you say he's entitled to write now? How much of that letter would you say he's gone back on? How much of that letter would you say is a lie? You see, I'd say if I was in charge of that, I'd screw the whole thing up and throw it in the bin, and maybe use it as fire paper so I could heat my house in the winter. Just saying. So I hate a liar. I really don't like Keir Starmer. You put the two together and it's a real big bleh. On that note, I need to go and earn some actual money so that we can actually afford to heat our actual massive draft this winter. I tried cling film on the windows this year. It's not great, but it's better than. Or we can just shut the shutters and have absolutely no light in whatsoever. And when with teenagers, you've got to have an airflow. You've got to have an airflow. So if anyone's got any really good ideas, I've sewn duvets into the curtains, so I've already done that. I've got very heavy curtains. We've got draft excluders absolutely everywhere. We've tried the cling film. We can't put secondary glazing in. We're not allowed to sort of cough on our windows. So yeah. Any good ideas, or if anyone in this crappy Labour government is listening and would like to do something to help people actually preserve listed buildings, and if anyone in this crappy Labour government would like to do anything to make sure that the next generation can have it because the old generation haven't died in it because it is so old and drafty, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.